Okay, well, thank you very much everyone for coming here today at short notice. Obviously, we've had notification today that the bus drivers and Unite have called a strike for the TT period. We, without reservation, condemn the action, the irresponsible action of the Unite leadership. We believe this strike is being orchestrated and directed from Liverpool without any care or concern for the damage this action might cause the Isle of Man economy at a very, very sensitive time. The local Unite leadership has been completely sidelined and I think is being overruled now by the officers in Liverpool, very much to the widespread detriment to the Isle of Man. We do not believe that this action is in the best interest of the bus drivers, and I certainly do not believe it will bring any benefit whatsoever to the reputation of the Isle of Man at a time of the year when there is considerable interest in the TT worldwide. The suggestion is that the drivers will go out for about a 10-day period over the TT practice and race week. Whether that materialises, we will have to wait and see, but the department, the DCCL, will be drawing up contingency plans to alleviate the worst of the difficulties for our local community. That information will be released in due course, but there is obviously going to be great concern amongst the community in relation to keeping the local economy going, to looking after our visitors, of which we have some 40,000 during this period, and particularly, of course, we have potential problems with education and with exams taking place during that time. I want to make it very, very clear, from government's point of view, we are fully supportive of the role that DCCL is taking on this. The Isle of Man and the Isle of Man government will not be held to ransom by these union militants in Liverpool. We are here to defend the best interest of the Isle of Man, and that will continue throughout this period. There will potentially be some disruption to the local economy, and we will do our best to minimise that. And there will be other potential problems which we equally will be concerned about, such as the issue of many of our visitors who perhaps might enjoy a drink, who ordinarily would get buses back to their campsites, and potential risks which might flow from that in terms of drink driving. We are very concerned about the welfare of our visitors and our locals, as well as the local economy, and we will do our best jointly across government to minimise the impact of that. That is my initial response. If I can hand over to Graham now, just to give you a response from the department and how they see the situation.
Well, we're very disappointed that the union has taken this action over the TT period, and we are drawing up our contingency plans to deal with it. We'll also be trying to ensure that we can run our late night services for the people who are visiting and wanting to get home, and we shall progress those, and hopefully we'll be able to get more details out to the public during the next week. I think that the union has been directed mainly by UK officials, and the drivers themselves are following that line. We will not be giving in to their demands. It is quite clear that we are trying to do the best things for the Isle of Man economy and for the employment on the Isle of Man.
Right. Do you want to add anything, Martin, from an educational point of view?
I guess only to say that the big issue for us is the examination week, which falls in TT week, because in England schools are all open that week. They have their half term in our practice week. we would be urging parents, and we are already urging parents, indeed the Minister did it at his news conference last week, to start to make plans for how their youngsters are going to get into school for the TT period, for the exam period over that TT week. Yes, there might be the opportunity for them to use some of the contingency buses that DCCL will be running, but we wouldn't want them to have that as their only means of transport. They need to think it through, because unfortunately, and it's not a regulation we apply, if a student is only 2 or 3 minutes late, they can't be admitted to the examination. It's, you know, it's a regulation, and it's one that we have no control over. So it's absolutely vital that people plan how young people are going to get into the examinations. And I'm sure for a lot of people, it will just be an extension of the plans they already had. Obviously, for instance, if you live in Ballaugh and you need to get to Ramsey or to Peel for examinations and it's a road closure day, and you've already started to think about how that's going to happen, and it may well be that it's arrangements whereby young people go and stay with friends for the day or whatever. It's not something that DCCL can easily respond to, because different groups of students have to be in school at different times. You know, there might be 6 young people needing to do an A-level economics exam at a school at 11 o'clock and 25 needing to be somewhere else at 1 o'clock. It's not like a normal school pattern. So we are asking parents to now start thinking about how they can support their children in getting to school for those examinations, because obviously they're vital. And I think the young people themselves will be very, very proactive about it, because they've been working towards them, obviously, over a 2-year period, and they know how important they are.
Okay, Nick, do you want to add any more to Graham's comments?
I'm quite happy to comment on contingencies if you wish me to, Chief Minister. As the Minister mentioned, the Department has previously operated contingency plans for the previous strikes. Clearly, we're confident that we are getting increasingly practiced at that and increasingly able to provide a service to the public. It's important to us that we provide as much of a service as we can, and that we keep the economy of the Isle of Man moving. And we'll be working out the details of those contingency plans and circulating them in advance so people know what's happening, and we'll certainly do our level best to use whatever resources we can locate with support from the whole of government to make sure that we put on the best possible service we can.